Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Virvagajarastar Shishimat, His Divine Grace, Sri Lesi Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Virvagajarastar Shishimat, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Guru Parampara Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Go Premananda Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All together, please. Om Jnana Timarandasya Ganandana Salakaya Chakshurun Bilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prajana Sehitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padang Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karana Sindhu Dhina Bandhu Jagatpate Guḍākeśa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapcha Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sudadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, translation and commentary, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Today's verse number 7, chapter 11, the universal form. Please repeat. Ihaika-sthaṁ jagat kṛtsnam paśyādya sa-carācaram mama dehe guḍākeśa cānyad draṣṭum icchasi ihaika-sthaṁ jagat kṛtsnam paśyādya sa-carācaram mama dehe guḍākeśa cānyad draṣṭum icchati ihaika-sthaṁ jagat kṛtsnam paśyādya sa-carācaram mama dehe guḍākeśa cānyad draṣṭum icchasi ihaika-sthaṁ jagat kṛtsnam paśyādya sa-carācaram mama dehe guḍākeśa cānyad draṣṭum icchasi. Okay. Jagat kṛtsnam paśyādya sa-carācaram mama dehe guḍākeśa yad draṣṭum icchasi ihaika-sthaṁ jagat kṛtsnam paśyādya sa-carācaram mama dehe guḍākeśa cānyad draṣṭum icchasi ihaika-sthaṁ jagat kṛtsnam paśyādya sa-carācaram mama dehe guḍākeśa cānyad draṣṭum icchasi. Okay, word for word. Please. Mama dehe guḍākeśa. Okay, word for word. Iha, in this. Eka-stham, in one place. Jagat, the universe. Kṛtsnam, completely. Paśya, see. Adya, immediately. Sa, with. Cara, the moving. Acaram, and non-moving. Mama, Maya, dehe, in this body. Guḍākeśa, O Arjuna, yat, that which. Cha, also. Anyat, other. Draṣṭum, to see. Icchasi, you wish. Translation, Srila Prabhupada. O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. The universal form can show you whatever you desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything, moving and non-moving, is here completely in one place. Please repeat. O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold it once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you wish to see and whatever you want to see in the future. Everything, moving and non-moving, is here completely in one place. Purport Srila Prabhupada. No one can see the entire universe while sitting in one place. Even the most advanced scientists cannot see what is going on in other parts of the universe. But a devotee like Arjuna can see everything that exists in any part of the universe. Kṛṣṇa gives him the power to see anything he wants to see, past, present and future. Thus, by the mercy of Kṛṣṇa, Arjuna is able to see everything. Mukum karochi vācālam bhangam laite grim yad kripartamaham vande Shri Gurun dinatarinam ihaika-sthaṁ jagat kṛtsnam paśyādya sa-carācaram mama dehe guḍākeśa cānyad draṣṭum icchasi. O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold it once in this body of mine. The universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything moving and non-moving is here completely in one place. Yes, so this is Kṛṣṇa speaking to Arjuna. But we should add the next verse. But you cannot see with your present eyes, therefore I give you divine eyes, divya chakshus. Behold my mystic opulence. Yes. So Arjuna, at the beginning of the chapter, he was asking, okay, show me, Kṛṣṇa, how you have entered into this universe and created all these divine opulences. In chapter 10, at the end, Kṛṣṇa says, understand me, see me in this material universe by my wonderful divine opulences. I am the sun, the moon, I am all the glorious and wonderful manifestations. See me in that way. So Arjuna says, okay, show me that. But of course, those divine manifestations of Kṛṣṇa are throughout the universe. So now Arjuna, by the grace of Kṛṣṇa, Supreme Lord, inconceivable Supreme Lord, has got divine vision by which he can see all the opulences of Kṛṣṇa in one place. And whatever he wants to see, particularly of the universe and of the future. So this is very sensitive of Kṛṣṇa. Krishna's Arjuna is on the battlefield, so you can imagine right from the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, he was in anxiety about this battle. I have to fight all these great warriors. Is it good karma? Is it bad karma? What will become of me? What will become of my brothers? So Kṛṣṇa is saying, yes, you can see my divine opulences, but also, Arjuna, whatever you may want to see in the future. So this is very clear. We often go to astrologers and we say, should I marry this girl or that girl? Should I open an electronics shop or should I open a grain shop? What is the best course of action? Please give me a hint. So of course in Kali Yuga, the astrologers, they don't really know very much, or you may find one or two, but here Kṛṣṇa is showing everything to Arjuna. And this is quite remarkable, right? You can see everything in the past, everything at the present, and anything in the future according to your desire. So that is something to contemplate, is it not? We would all like that vision, would we not? to know what is going to happen in the future, what really happened in the past, what is happening now. This would be very interesting to all of us, correct? So that is the position of the Supreme Lord. Everything is yet to happen, he knows exactly. He knows everything that's present, and he knows exactly what happened in the past. There is no limit to his consciousness. There's no limit to his perception. We are limited, but his perception is unlimited. But though we are limited, by the grace of Kṛṣṇa, we can achieve such unlimited functions. And you will find in the Govinda paśya of Baladev Vidyabhushan, Baladev, in one of the explanations, the purports, he explains that the liberated soul, even though we are bibinansa, we are very minute. Practically speaking, the liberated soul, whether in Haridham or in Golokadham, in potency, he becomes practically equivalent to the Supreme Lord by the grace of the Supreme Lord. So Baladev explains that this is because to relate to the Supreme Lord, he has to be practically on the same level. But Baladev explains further, and he says, the ability, though, to create the spiritual world, Haridham, Maheshtam, Durgadham, that he doesn't bestow on the living entity. Because, of course, that would confuse things. But all other different potencies, other than being able to create an alternative creation, he gives to the living entity. And the living entity does not abuse these powers. Why? Because he's in prem bhav. He is in the position of pure consciousness. In the material world, when we get power, money, position, there is a tendency to exploit that for dhanam, for wealth, for followers, and for sex life. We want to enjoy. We want to control and enjoy. So if we get some position, some opulence, and we don't have a pure heart, the tendency is to use it for our own personal gratification. But in the liberated souls, that is completely absent. This is a good point to consider, is it not? Sometimes we might think somebody annoys us, for example, says something bad to us. We become annoyed. Or somebody steals our shoes outside the temple, and we think, somebody has stolen my shoes. I would like to curse that person to be born without feet in the next life. Because we're annoyed, of course. So we get a little crazy. Huh? That is one of the nescient engagements. Anger after frustration. But thankfully, even though somebody has stolen our shoes, we're not able to do that. Because that would be a terrible thing. That would be an overreaction. So it is the blessing of Kṛṣṇa that we are constrained in our activities, that we cannot do everything that may come into our consciousness. But those that are liberated from selfishness, from material aspiration, they have all mystic powers. But they don't misuse them, right? If we had all mystic powers, we might go here and there. We might go to the ATM and take all the cash out without using a card, right? We think, oh, well, I'll just use prapti-siddhi. You know prapti-siddhi? You can get whatever you want, so I don't need an ATM card. I'll just take the money out of the ATM. Oh, there's another ATM, I'll get that too. And I'll use it in Krishna's service. So, this is the blessing, actually, of Kṛṣṇa. Just like a father, he protects his children from misbehavior, right? So Kṛṣṇa is protecting us from misbehavior in the material world. When we are not pure in heart, it is as often a blessing to not have mystic powers and abilities. It keeps us on the right path, right? Sometimes it is said, right, that when Kṛṣṇa blesses you, he takes everything away, so that you just have to rely on him. Your heart runs to Kṛṣṇa. But sometimes we see, if we have great opulence, we may become very indisciplined. We may chase after sense enjoyment, intoxication. We may become proud. So we should have faith in Kṛṣṇa, Krishna's protection. This is part of Prabhupada quotes this, that often Lord Shiva, okay, you want something, take it. But Kṛṣṇa does not give something that may be harmful for his devotee. But at the end, like Dhruva Maharaj, right, he wanted a big kingdom. But after he saw Kṛṣṇa, he said, oh, that is just broken glass. That is broken glass. Amongst this broken glass, I found a jewel, and that is you, Kṛṣṇa. I don't want anything else. But then Kṛṣṇa said, okay, but it is my promise that I will fulfill the desire of my devotee. So I will give you a big kingdom. I will give you Dhruvaloka. But now, of course, we understand that Dhruva is purified. So he's in Dhruvaloka, he has a huge kingdom, bigger than his father, but he is meditating on the lotus feet of Kṛṣṇa, and he has no desire to exploit that position. He is satisfied, he is atmaram. So there is that verse, atmaramastamanayo nigrantha apirukrame kurvanti ahoita kim bhaktim ita, something like that, fourth line. So the Supreme Lord is attractive even to the atmaramas, those that are self-satisfied, because he has so many wonderful attributes that those that are meditating on that Supreme Lord, they are not interested. Like Lord Chaitanya said, na dhanam, na janam, na sundaram. Well, I'm not interested in wealth, followers, sex life, dynasty. I'm not interested in that, Lord Chaitanya. I just want your service. So that is a wonderful condition. When we're materially conditioned, we might not think that's good. We might think, no, I want to be a big this, a big that. But from the Shastra, from the great devotees, from the Guru, we see that if we try to exploit this material energy in a selfish way, that only is the beginning of our suffering condition. That is what Prahlad Maharaj says to Hiranyakashipu. I'm not interested in this diplomacy of friends and enemies. I am only interested in bhajan. I am only interested in Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam. I'm only interested in that. I don't see anything else of value. So we should contemplate that. It will help us in our sadhana. We will draw that power. And this is the important point, that whatever aspect of Kṛṣṇa we meditate upon, this is the secret of mystic power. Whatever aspect of Kṛṣṇa that we meditate upon, we will draw that potency towards us. Kṛṣṇa is like a desire tree. He bestows the fruit. A desire tree, you sit under a desire tree in the spiritual world and you want a mango, and a mango will be there. So whatever Kṛṣṇa, it is stated in the Shastra, right? Nityo nityanam chaitanas chaitananam eko yodidati kaman. Kṛṣṇa is fulfilling the desires of everyone. So if you want to be a big musician, what aspect of Kṛṣṇa should you meditate upon? His flute playing, his ability as a musician. If you play your guitar, sitar, and you're meditating on Kṛṣṇa's musical ability, you will play very nice. There's also, earlier in the Gita, na karmani limpanti. Kṛṣṇa explains that I am performing all kinds of work, but the karma phal, the reaction, does not cling to me. I am ever transcendentally situated. And then Kṛṣṇa says, and those that know this quality of mine, that I am never karma bandha, I'm never controlled by a material reaction to my abilities in this material world. Those that know this, they also are not bound by karmic reaction. So we are angsa of Kṛṣṇa, mama angsa jiva loke. We have full of these amazing abilities in seed form. We are not meant to be karma bandha. We're not meant to be in this material world. We are meant to have all mystic powers. We are meant to be full of bliss and ecstasy. The spiritual world, everyone is in a state of enlightenment. The material energy, we quote that many times, it has the effect of two effects on the conditioned soul. On the subtle form, on the subtle level, we understand that the living entity with material aspiration, he becomes full of nescience. It means illusion, political ideas. Should I be a globalist? Should I be capitalist? Should I be socialist? What is the real understanding of reality? What is the real aspiration in life? And then on the gross platform, he becomes very interested in fruitive activity. He wants to perform work. with his particular material abilities to get some material result so that he can enjoy. If you want to understand this, you read the 5th canto of Bhagavatam. It explains that the living entity is like a businessman, a trader. He goes into the forest of the material world with the idea, I will get some flowers, some roots, some wood from the forest, and I will exploit that. I'm a businessman. I will work hard. I will get the result. And that result I will enjoy. But there again, in that Bhagavatam, it explains that in the forest there is the elephant, there are crocodiles, there are tigers. It is a dangerous place. So trying to enjoy fruitively in the material world, we become in many different dangerous positions. And we do not understand that there is no real fruit because of nescience in the material world that will satisfy us. So the devotee, with this understanding, the forest of the material world, he becomes detached from nescience and nescient activity. And by putting his consciousness on the Supreme Lord in a mood of service, as we said last week, tesham evanukampatham aham ajnana jamtamam nashyami atmabhavashto jnana deepena basvita. Those that bhajitam pritipurvakam, with love, I, with the shining lamp of knowledge, dispel the darkness born of ignorance. So through sevan, just like we often quote, sevan mukhi hi jivado, swayam eva spuryada. Once you have a loving devotion to the transcendental Lord, and through that loving attitude, you enter the spiritual world, swayam eva spuryada. You naturally become the Supreme Lord, knowledge of the Supreme Lord, knowledge of his form, quality, pastimes, that automatically manifests by his grace. Of course, throughout the Shastra, it is very carefully explained that we go through the Vaishnav. O he Vaishnav Thakur, Doira Sangara, Eda se Karuna Korni. We go through the Vaishnav. Mahat Sevam Dwaram Oho Vimuktes. The Vaishnav, the transcendentally situated Vaishnav, he is the open door of liberation. What is that other verse? Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu, right? By serving the Shuddha Bhakta, the Uttamadhikari, then we are connected to the transcendental plane. And we remember, we talk about Narottam Das Thakur. He wrote that song, Sri Rupa Manjari Pada, right? I'm offering all my vrata, all my tapasya, all my study, all my meditation to you, Rupa Goswami. You are that Paramahamsa who is the doorway to Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa say tomorrow, Kṛṣṇa dite par. You have Kṛṣṇa, O dear Vaishnav. That is my aspiration, to attain Kṛṣṇa. So, O Vaishnav Thakur, all my sadhana, all my study, all my aspiration, I offer to your lotus feet. You, Kṛṣṇa is yours. You please speak to Kṛṣṇa and give me realization of Kṛṣṇa. This is the transcendental science. Shuddha bhakata charana renu. Service to the pure devotee. We respect all Vaishnavas. We respect the dog, camel and ass. We respect the mosquito. We respect everything. But we have to distinguish Shrotriyam Brahmanishtakyam, Mahatmanas tamam patha, Devim Prakritim Ashrita. That the Mahatma is transcendentally situated. And the sign of that transcendental situation, Brahmanishta, he's fixed in Brahman, is that he has no material aspiration. And he is completely Sava Upadi Vinir Muktam. All the upadis, all the mistakes of the material personality, lust, anger, greed, illusion, pride, envy, they're absent from his character. So those personalities we distinguish from everyone. We respect everyone and we serve all humanity in a different manner, but we take shelter, O He Vaishnav Thakur, Doyara Sangara, Edase Karuna Kori. Please be merciful to your servant, right? So here, Kṛṣṇa is getting the blessing of Kṛṣṇa, and he is beginning to see everything. So there is two parts, is there not? Remember last week we read, and the first part of the universal form, Arjuna sees all these wonderful things, but then he starts to see some terrible things, right? He sees the battlefield, because this is what he is interested in. What is the future? He starts to see what will happen in the battle. And he sees the Virat Rupa not as full of opulence and ability and wonderful things, but he sees Kalosmi Aham, time I am, destroyer of all worlds. There are none here, apart from you, the Pandavas, that will survive. I have brought all these demoniac kings, that's the beginning of the Bhagavatam, I have brought them all here to be moved on to their next destination. This is what I do. Paritranaya sadhunam, you're the Pandavas, vanashaya chudishkritam, dharma samstapanathaya. So, sambhavam, I come millennium after millennium. So I am doing this, Arjuna, but engage in the battle. You will survive. But Arjuna is seeing, yes, all the soldiers and all the enemies and everyone is being drawn into the mouth of the universal form, and they're being devoured and crushed. So this is also very instructive, because this is the material nature, is it not? Material nature is Durga Devi, but she's also Parvati. She is the wife of Lord Shiva. In one sense, who is time? Kala Shakti is Lord Shiva. We've already understood now that all the potencies that are manifest, they are from Kṛṣṇa, and Kṛṣṇa has entered into them. So just like all these electrical devices, they're created by some electronics manufacturer, but they don't work. But when the electricity goes into them, they work. So Kṛṣṇa has given power and potency, the three modes, the material energy, earth, water, fire, air, ether, the working senses, the knowledge acquiring senses, the subtle mind. He's created all these things, the modes of material nature. But just like the electricity is making the fans work, Kṛṣṇa has entered into the creation in that way. So Kṛṣṇa has created everything from his energy, and then avyukta murtina, he has entered into everything. And that is how everything is working. But because it's the material world, it's not the Ras Leela that Arjuna sees. In the 10th canto, the gopis go to the Ras Leela, and the devotees are putting flowers. The Jamuna is giving a cool breeze. There's the scent of lotuses coming to the Ras Leela stall. Radha and Kṛṣṇa are dancing. Kṛṣṇa has expanded with all the gopis. They're dancing. The musicians are there. Everything is beautiful. That is the Ras Leela. Everyone is dancing with Kṛṣṇa. But in the material world, everyone is dancing with the Virat Rupa. And yes, there is the Parvati. Parvati Valley is there on the way to Manali. It is full, it is very beautiful. And Lord Shiva's husband, Uma Devi, Parvati, when she's in a good mood, she is sitting upon a deer, right? A beautiful animal, the deer, a vegetarian deer. And everything is wonderful and peaceful. But when Parvati Devi is in a bad mood, she becomes Kali. And she wears a garland of skulls. And she has many arms. Have you been to Puri? There's you go walking in Puri. There is a Kali mandir, and the Kali murti is there with many arms, and she's covered with oil by the pujari, and in each arm she has different weapons. She has the ropes, she has the trishul, she has the chakra, she has everything. Huh? But she is poor, she is poverty also. So this material world has this dual nature. It is not the Ras Leela where everything and everyone is perfect and sublime in their mentality and consciousness, where everything is ecstatic love and everyone is living in a state of transcendental realization. It is the Virat Rupa, where according to karma, everyone is being drawn into the Virat Rupa and being crushed. All these beautiful bodies we have. We are brushing the teeth, trimming the beard. Huh? Should I cut my hair? Should I have to lose weight because I'm not looking so beautiful? This body will be turned into what? Ashes, stool, or worms or something like that. Huh? No matter how many times you brush your hair. It is going to be ashes, worms, or stool. So this is detachment. To understand, yes, sometimes you may go to the restaurant and get a nice meal. But then sometimes you may go to the restaurant and become sick. You may have to go to the hospital. And they'll still charge you money for the meal. Oh dear, restaurant manager, I've got terrible stomach. Pay the bill, then we'll talk. I don't know if this is relevant to recent events. But this is the material world. It has a dual nature. And we are under control of time. And don't worry, no matter how handsome and beautiful you think you are, your spiritual body is far, far better. Right? So don't be attached to the shape of your nose when you're washing your face in the morning. Don't be attached to this bag of stool. Arjuna, yes, he is seeing the dual nature, he's seeing the opulences, and he's seeing I'll be victorious by grace of Kṛṣṇa. And he's seeing this material world. So let us meditate on the pure love, like we said, the aspect of Kṛṣṇa that we meditate upon. That aspect will come to us by connection through the grace of the Vaishnava. So what does Ramananda Roy tell, Ramananda Roy tell Lord Chaitanya? He goes through Varnashram, Yadkaroshi, Brahman, he goes up, and then he goes on to Prema Vaivarta. And Lord Chaitanya puts his hand on the mouth of Ramananda Roy and he says, speak no further. So the question is, what is the sadya and what is the sadhana? What is the goal and what is the process? So Ramananda Roy goes through all the processes, and the end point is Prema Vaivarta. And there is a book by Jagannatha Pandit, Prema Vaivarta. Prema Vaivarta means the transformations of love. Man, pranaya, bhava, anubhav. It is there in the Ujjvala Nilamani. All the transformations of love. So Lord Chaitanya, through the 6 Goswamis, through Rupa Goswami, through Raghunath Das Goswami, he is the most merciful incarnation because he is revealing this highest aspect of meditation. So when we chant and we want to fix our mind at the lotus feet of Kṛṣṇa by service to the Vaishnava, what is that aspect of Kṛṣṇa that we should meditate upon? That is revealed in the conversation. We can look at the deity Radha Shyam Sundar, but we should pray to see the love between the deity, the love between Kṛṣṇa and Balaram, the love between Gaur Nitai. We should try to pick up the rasa of the spiritual world. And that, when we have just a drop of that rasa in our heart, then everything else will just fade away. Like Jad Bharat is completely fixed on Kṛṣṇa. And so that should be our aspiration. And that aspect of Kṛṣṇa and Radha, that should be our meditation. prema vaivarta. And that is why Lord Chaitanya Gauranitai Panchatattva, the great acharyas, Jagadananda Pandit, Madhavendra Puri, he introduced Prem Bhav into the Sampradaya. That is why it is the most merciful time to be devotees. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So let's that be our aspiration. Let us desire that. As we often said, desire is not your enemy. Desire is your friend. You have to desire to go to the spiritual world. You have to desire to wake up your swarup, to have your relationship with Kṛṣṇa. We want to change the desire for fruitive result to the desire to serve the great acharyas. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, thank you all very much. Shri Shri Gauranitai Krishna Balaram Radhasham Sundar Lalit Vishaka Ki Jai. Any question?
Hare Krishna. My question is, who is Ramanand Rai in Krishna Leela? Who is Ramanand Rai in Krishna Leela? Is he there or is not?
Krishna Leela.
Means in Vrindavan Leela, who is Ramanand Rai?
I can't distinguish your words.
Who is Ramanand Rai in Krishna Leela?
Oh, Ramananda Roy is Arjuna.
Acha, Arjuna.
He is Arjuniya Gopi. Because Arjuna, he has a Gopi form. So Ramananda Roy is Arjuna. It's very interesting. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna instructs Arjuna, but in Chaitanya Leela, Arjuna instructs Krishna in the form of Lord Chaitanya.
Because Arjuna can't...
Sometimes there is a discussion that he is also Lalita Vishaka. He's a combination of bhava. Sometimes some people say, no, Swarup Damodar is Lalita. But the general consensus is that Swarup Damodar is Vishaka Gopi and Ramananda Roy is Lalita Shakti, Arjuniya Gopi, and Arjuna from the battlefield of Kurukshetra. You can read in the Gaurav Deshadipika of Vrindavan Das Thakur. Yeah. But that is generally it. But it's interesting, isn't it? Krishna, when he becomes a devotee, as Lord Chaitanya, he wants to take instruction from his devotee. So he's also teaching us, you have to take shelter of the Vaishnav. You have to take shelter of the devotee to realize Krishna.
That's why when they meet in Gaur Leela, when they hug each other, Ramanand Rai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they fell apart because they were Krishna and Arjuna.
Not clear.
When Krishna, because in Gaur Leela,
what's he saying?
In Gaur Leela, when Ramanand Rai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met each other, they fell apart when they hug.
I can't understand what you're saying. Huh? You have to learn how to use a microphone. Don't put a microphone. You have to put a certain angle and find the sweet spot. What? Huh? No. Lalita, like I said, is generally understood to be Ramananda Roy in Chaitanya Leela. Arjuna, well, you can have combined bhavas in an incarnation. There can be more than one personality in an incarnation. They are not, they are harmonious because of bhava, bhakti. You understand? They're in perfection. So different, just like we have different moods, right? So Ramananda Roy has the bhava of Lalit Vishaka, Shaki, and also Arjuna, and also Arjuna's gopi form, Arjuniya Gopi. But they are spiritually perfect, so there is no disharmony. This is all under Yogamaya. It's the same question again. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah? Huh? Excuse me? Well, he can do.
Yes, he can do, definitely.
If you please him. Ashutosh, yeah. Lord Shiva is known to be...
But some, like...
there's a story about Lord Shiva. Parvati was once saying, look at this person. He's selling things on the road. Why don't you make him wealthy? So Lord Shiva put a diamond necklace inside a watermelon, and he gave it to that tradesperson on the side of the road. And he turned to Parvati and now have a look. And that tradesperson with the diamond necklace inside the watermelon, he sold it for 2 paisa. So he said, Parvati, look, this is the law of karma. He's not meant to get a diamond necklace. But if you worship Lord Shiva, Vaishnava yata Shambhu, if you worship him as the greatest Vaishnav, he will be very well disposed to you. This is what we said in the class, right? That the Vaishnavs, Kripa Sindhu, the Lord Shiva, the great devotees, they are more merciful than the Supreme Lord. It is said like that.
My question is different.
Huh?
My question is different.
Yeah, your question, what is your question?
My question is like that sometimes this understanding come, or Lord Shiva give benediction like this, any benediction. So why he gives like that?
What?
So like why
Lord Shiva is like that?
Yeah. Even the demons like...
Well, he's easily pleased. He's a Vaishnav. He has that aspect to his personality. He thinks, okay, take it. Just like sometimes we get in a good mood and we give money to the beggar, right? Okay, take 50 rupees. Huh? But the next day we see the same beggar and we think, I'm not giving him anything. In fact, I want the 50 rupees back. So Lord Shiva, we're not saying he's whimsical, but according to Shastra, he has that personality. Also, Lord Shiva is Gunavatar in the material situation. It's explained that it's like 2 sides of a coin. In ihaika-sthaṁ, he's perfectly transcendental, but he extends down into the material energy as tamagun gunavatar, and so therefore he mixes up the material energy. You understand? But certainly, so you have to contemplate that point about Lord Shiva.
That's why I requested
That he has his, just like Nityananda Avadut, right? Nityananda is Avaduta. He gave more mercy to Jagai Madai than Lord Chaitanya. So we are dealing with personality. The spiritual world is full of personalities. Baladev is a certain personality, right? He was dancing with his entourage of gopis and the Vida gorilla came, right? And he was looking at the Balaram's gopis and he was showing his teeth. It's there in Krishna book, right? And what did Dravida do? He knocked the teeth out of Dravida. So, this is his personality. Lord Shiva has his personality. Krishna has his personality. Radharani has a personality. Vishaka has a certain personality. If you read Dayan Chandra's Gora Archana Padati, you get all the different personalities. So Lord Shiva is, in one sense, Lord Shiva is the god of the material world because he is the husband of Durga Devi. So he is in this material world. He is the god of the material energy. He is time. He is Kala Shakti. So everything is under the Kala Shakti. Krishna is transcendental, but Lord Lord Shiva is the Kala Chakra. So Shakti. So he is moving the material energy. He is giving everyone the result. But he is a person, he's a great Vaishnava, so he wants to help people. Vaishnava yata shambhu. He's non-different, right? There's that verse, Shiram yatadari vikari visesha yogat sanjayate nahi tatak pratikasti hetu yam shambutam apitata samiparti cānyad govindam adipurisham tamaham bhajami. So Lord Shiva is transformation of Vishnu. Just like milk is transformed into dahi. So dahi has a different personality than milk.
This is the question, na?
Huh?
Like this thought come na, that this Lord Shiva doesn't think, or this should I give or not give. Anybody worship?
No, he does that, but he's easy to please. You understand? He's easy to please.
So it means it looks like it is easy to
You see, there's a story in the Purana. Narada Muni goes to see Vishnu, and there's people praying to Vishnu. I want to be rich. Okay. I want my married daughter to marry a good man. Okay. I want my health to be restored. Okay. And then somebody comes and they said, oh Lord Vishnu, I want to be your pure devotee. So then Lord Vishnu says, okay, stand on that side. So Narada Muni says, you're giving everybody, wealth, good health, good position in society, but he wants to be your pure devotee. Why are you making him wait? So Vishnu says, well, I have to be very careful, because if I give pure devotion, I become the possession of that devotee. So I don't want to give myself away. So that is Lord Vishnu. Lord Shiva thinks, oh, they want Something in the material world, let me give it to them. Just like a father, he has children, and the son says, I want a bicycle, I want a bicycle, I want a bicycle. The father says, you're only 3 years old, you'll fall off. The son, no, I want a bicycle. Okay, here's your bicycle. Fall off. Learn the hard way. Right? So you have to ask Lord Shiva. But you should understand that he's very well disposed to the Vaishnavas. Who is Lord Shiva in Chaitanya Leela? Huh? Yes, Advaitacharya. So he is the father of the Vaishnavas, right? Advaitacharya, yeah. So he is the father. He calls Lord Chaitanya. So he is the shelter of the Vaishnavas, Lord Shiva. So we relate to him as Advaitacharya. What's that verse? Daya Kora Sita Pati Advaita Gosai. Kripa Bolo Kano Chaitanya Nitai. If you are merciful to me, then I will attain Gaur Nitai. There's the story about Lord Shiva, right, in the Bhagavatam. Is it Banasura? Banasura wanted the power that anyone that I touch on the head, his head